So this is our final stream of the day, guys, and possibly our biggest one. So much history here with Alabama playing Indiana. Alabama 11-3, Indiana 13-0. The line has been bouncing around at 7. There hasn't been a lot of movement for this game. It's at 7.5 right now for Indiana. Line opened up at 6.5, crept up to 7.5. It's basically at 7.5 or 7 everywhere you look. There are no more 6.5s. It seems like sharps are confident Indiana wins, but unsure if they cover, based on what I can tell. I'm excited to see how this game goes here. A lot of people have made talk about the bye, and that being a hurtful thing with teams in the bye being 0-6. There have also been some people who make out the fact that teams that are both favored according to FPI on a neutral field and who are favored by the books at the same time are 15-2 or 16-1. It's one of those two in college football playoff games. The only exception to that being Miami over Ohio State in the quarterfinal, which that was a very weird game. You had the pick six that changed everything, and Miami matched up well with OSU. Curious to see how that goes here. Indiana is both favored neutral field metrically. Every model has Indiana winning. Every model has Indiana winning by at least a field goal to double digits. So I am curious to see. Bless me, I downed a bunch of Chinese food before this, so I have a lot more energy, for sure, now, but we did get a late start to the stream, consequentially. So I'm so pumped for this game. I'm so nervous because I did pick Indiana. I was very bold in my statement that, like, Indiana was going to win, and if they are going to lose, it would be to Oregon, Ohio State, or Georgia. Ohio State's out of this thing, and Oregon's playing in the Peach Bowl, so Oregon will face the winner of these teams. I am fairly confident that Indiana wins, but I am nervous in my prediction. If I'm wrong, I'll admit that I'm wrong. I'll confess to it. We don't hide when we're wrong here on College Football with Sam. We've so far accurately predicted most college football playoff games. We were wrong about the Cotton Bowl. We were right about the Orange Bowl. We were 3-1 in picking the first round. So we're 4-2 right now. Looking to move on to 6-2 after today. I'm, somewhat confident that we will here. I'm kind of feeling that Georgia and Indiana win this thing. Again, nervous. Nervous is the best way to describe it. But here we are. Here we are. And this is going to be a great game, I think. You got, Alabama and Indiana are opposites in a lot of ways. In, like, tradition, obviously, but even in style of team, they're different. And it's very fascinating. I'm also curious to know what the crowd split is. Both teams wear red. Alabama's red is more like... It's more towards the cool color side. Has a little bit more blue in it. Indiana's is more of like a pure red, because Alabama, crimson. Indiana's just red. But very fascinating to see what happens here in this game. We're going to be streaming this until the end. We'll do an instant reaction to this game afterwards, and then halftime of Georgia Ole Miss, we'll do a reaction to the Orange Bowl, and possibly talk about one other thing if I can fit that in there. We will also do an instant reaction to Georgia Ole Miss after that game ends, or maybe we'll do one tomorrow morning. Who knows? Plans are pretty fluid here on College Football with Sam, and we will try to go live tomorrow. We will try to go live, but no promises as to what we'll do. So it looks like Alabama won the toss and elected to defer. Historic game, wonderful quarterfinal game, and we are live. Yep, so Alabama won the toss and elected to defer, I believe. So Indiana has the ball, 1st and 10 at their own 25. Curious to see how this works. A lot of people have made, stuff about Alabama's talent edge. A lot of people have made stuff about Indiana being favored big in a lot of models. Curious to see what happens here. Mendoza back to pass, and he's going to be sacked. Alabama brought a blitz, and he's sacked on the first play. It's going to be 2nd and 11. So Alabama gets pressure. Mendoza just couldn't read the play properly. Alabama brought like 5 or 6 guys and got home. So it's 2nd and 12. Roman Hemby gets out to the 36, 37 yard line. It was a really good run, nicely blocked there. It's going to be 3rd and 4. It was a nice 8-yard run there by the Indiana Hoosiers to open up this game. Going to be 3rd and manageable for Indiana. Alabama looks like they might try to send some pressure here. Everyone's within 10 yards of the line of scrimmage. No deep safety, at least from the look. It could be disguised, though. Could very well be disguised. Alabama's going to send an all-out blitz. Mendoza is going to be taken down and is going to be sacked, so Alabama will get a 3-and-out and get off the field first. Big play by them, getting 2 sacks already to start the game, and Indiana will have to punt this football away. Not the start you want if you're Indiana. Let's see if anything was open downfield. Doesn't really look like it, no. They didn't really have anything going for them that was short. So it's going to be 4th and 15. Alabama looks to be coming after this punt. And I think Alabama's going to get pretty good field position out of this. So 2 minutes in already. Alabama forced a 3-and-out with a good defensive series there. Yeah, they have it 1st and 10 at the 41. Let's see what Alabama can do with Ty Simpson there. He's back by himself. Under some duress, under pressure. Tries to get it away. It's incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10 from their own 41. This Indiana defense is vicious, guys. They are 12th in adjusted EPA per play. They're top 5 in havoc rate forced. They have an elite run defense, wonderful pass defense. They are going to try to run this. Nope, it's a quick pass. They did get it out to, I believe it's Ryan Williams on a little RPO there. Picked up a gain of 4. It's going to be 3rd and 6. Simpson checking the protection. And they got the first down. Nice pass over the middle to number 4. They just picked up the first down. They're on the Indiana 49. So first down of the game goes to the Alabama Crimson Tide. Simpson doing a nice job maneuvering the pocket. Picks up a gain of 5 there. I believe maybe it's just a gain of 4. Indiana's gotten some pressure, but Simpson's done a good job of evading that so far. It's a gain of 6. It'll be 2nd and 4 for the Crimson Tide. Alabama picks up a first down and a run by Hill. They're out to the 35, 34-yard line. They're going to try to run it again, and Indiana gets the first TFL of the game. Elijah Hardy was in on that play. Alabama now a little bit behind the chains on a second. Well, no, they just stopped it. It's going to be 2nd and 10 again. Maybe a little bit behind the chains, but not too bad. Second and 10. Alabama has Daniel Hill back there. Several tight ends are in this set, I believe. And that's going to result in a tackle for loss for Indiana. Tried to get it out there to Hill. Now they're at the 41. That's going to be about a 4, maybe even 5-yard loss. It'll be 3rd and 14 for the Tide. Alabama sends Sim pressure. Simpson trying to look deep. And it's almost picked off, but it's incomplete. Lewis Moore nearly had the pick. It's going to be a punt for Alabama. Simpson did a good job. He's done a great job so far of evading pressure. He's been pressured like 3 times and has gotten out of it each time. And thank you for the super chat, Weston. I'll get to that at the next commercial break. I don't know when that's going to be, but you know, good series by these defenses so far. Great series. He was looking for Ryan Williams deep. And punt. Well, Indiana's going to have to start from their own 3. That was a really good punt by Alabama. It'll be 1st and 10 for Indiana inside their own 5-yard line. I think we have a commercial break coming up now. Let me see. I'm pretty sure we do. Yep, we do. Okay, so let me get out the pop-out chat. All righty. Weston, thank you for the $5 super chat. I was in your stream for U of M Alabama 2 years ago. Great. Hope for another great game. Hope for another great one. I mean, early on, both defenses have done well against both offenses, to say the least. It is very early, though. And both of these defenses are better than both offenses. So, curious to see what happens as Indiana, now has poor field position. What's going to happen? Yeah, maybe. I mean, you did mention the Southern talent gap. It has been here in the playoffs so far. I don't know if it's shown up in this game yet, though. Indiana's had slow starts offensively for much of the year, and then as they get settled in and going, then they start firing on all cylinders. Curious to see what happens now. Oh, all that matters for either team is that they survive in advance. that they win in advance. It's about all that matters. Wow. Yeah, pretty low scoring game so far. Let me restore the chat. Make sure everyone to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, just do all those things. I'd appreciate that. Oh, yep. We're about 2/5 of the way through the first quarter. And we're back. Indiana's offense is out there on the field. They're facing an Alabama defense that I would say is certainly top 10. Indiana in their games against the best defenses they've played, they scored 20 on Iowa, 30 on Oregon, and 13 on Ohio State. So you saw the pass pro issues early, and Indiana's had that at times this year. Curious to see what they do in the end zone. They are going to run it, and Kaelon Black is able to get forward for about a gain of 3. It'll be 2nd and 7 for Kaelon Black, who's had quite a successful year this season. 799 rushing yards, 5.6 yards per carry, and 7 touchdowns for the redshirt senior. They're going to place it 2nd and 8, actually. Little bit more breathing room for the Hoosiers. Let's see if they can pick up a first down, though. Alabama's like barely set as this play begins. They're going to run it again with Black, and Black is going to power up the middle for about 6. Curious to see if Indiana's just going to decide to try to run this ball heavily, because this is going to be a 3rd and 2. What are they going to do? Black is still in the game. Alabama's taken a long time to get set up. It's actually kind of like strange. Oh, clutch catch by Elijah Surratt. He was on Zabian Brown, and Brown had him covered perfectly, but he still picked up the first down anyway. Alabama like read that play, covered it well, and Mendoza just threw it where only Elijah Surratt could get it. If he threw it any differently, that could have been picked off. So Indiana converts a 3rd down. They're a very methodical unit. And Elijah Surratt is going to get past the 25 and get close to having a first down. It'll be 2nd and short. Yep, 2nd and 1. Maybe they'll take a shot here. They got Roman Hemby in the game at running back. Indiana does. Alabama, for whatever reason, is trying to stem. And I think Elijah Surratt did pick up that first. No, they're going to mark him short. Nice tackle there by Alabama. So they're going to mark him short. Sometimes Indiana likes to get pretty cute with those screens. I imagine they're going to run it here. But we'll see. Maybe they'll pass. It is early for both of these teams, but I'm pretty convinced they're going to run. Try to establish their will. And they will get it with Hemby. That was a pretty solid 2-3 yard pickup to pick up the first down. And they had a big hole open there. First and 10 at the 29. Indiana's a tight end in this game. They are going to hand it off to Hemby. Hemby mainly, if at best, gets a yard. Going to be out to the 30, so I think it'll be 2nd and 9. Yep, it is. It'll be 2nd and 9. Indiana now driving the football a little bit, very methodically here. It's down to 5 minutes left in the first quarter. Game's going by pretty quickly. Riley Nowakowski is to the left of Carter Smith, and number 3, 13, and I believe 80 are in. Yes, so we get to see Charlie Becker. It's going to be a play-action pass. Mendoza is well protected, and he's going to get it to Charlie Becker, and Becker has a catch for a first down. Nice toe-tap catch there by Charlie Becker, and they're inside Alabama territory. Oh, yes. Brilliant catch by Becker. And brilliant throw by Mendoza. Wonderful catch. Wouldn't be an NFL catch, but is a great college catch. And Indiana is at the Alabama 40. They're going to hand it off to Kalon Black. Black is able to find a hole and pick up a gain of 5 on the ground. It's going to be 2nd and 5. Maybe 2nd and... no, they're going to rule it 2nd and 5. So Indiana is putting a nice drive together. Like, we saw that early drive where, man, they just got, like, killed in pass pro. But Indiana, I think, yeah, they just picked up a first down on the ground. Gain of 6. I think Indiana believes they can run on this team, and this drive so far isn't exactly proving that wrong. They're inside the 30, going on a long drive here. It's going to be 1st and 10 at the 29. Indiana substitutes in players, rotates them. It's a nice drive they're putting together, led mainly by Kalon Black and Fernando Mendoza. Also got some time with Roman Hemby. Got Jonathan Brady in at wide receiver. And it's a one-on-one with Omar Cooper Jr., and Cooper is going to be slammed down for a gain of 9. It's going to be 2nd and 1. Just a little short dump-off route there, and since Alabama gave him space, he took the necessary yards. They're going to run it with Kalon Black. Black is going to get pushed forward by his offensive line, like all the way down to the 10 or 11. It's going to be 1st and 10 from the 13. Really nice drive by Indiana to keep this Alabama defense on the field, to control the game. They brought in Roman Hemby, who's more of their bruising power back. They are going to hand it to Hemby. Hemby is only going to pick up a yard at the very best. So it'll be 2nd and 9 for the Hoosiers. Can't believe the first quarter is almost already done, guys. That's kind of crazy. But Indiana, I mean, it's a 13-play, 85-yard drive that's taken up over 7 minutes and 30 seconds. And this is going to be the 14th play. And someone's going to call a timeout. I think it's Indiana. Indiana called their first timeout. They didn't like what they saw. Yeah, so, okay. We got another super chat to get to. All right, thank you. Too rare to die. Just saw a crazy stat that of the 6 teams so far with a bye, they've combined only held a lead for 5 minutes. It's all 6 teams, only 5 minutes. Well, that hasn't been at any point this year. Oregon never held a lead. Boise never held a lead. Was that Georgia at some point last year? Or was it Arizona State over Texas? Oh, yes, it was Georgia. Georgia led at 1.3-0. That was the only, yep. And that was the most evenly matched bye game, too. Georgia was the only team favored over the bye. Only 2 teams that have received the bye so far in the games that have been completed were favored. Ohio State, Texas, well, actually 3, because technically Texas Tech. But Texas Tech and Georgia were 1.5-point favorites. So it's basically a pick'em. And if you watched how Notre Dame Georgia was played, that was a true 50-50 game. Notre Dame just got stuff together. Oregon Texas Tech was not. You play that game tomorrow, I think Oregon is certainly favored by closer to a touchdown than a field goal. Certainly. But yeah, I mean, the teams with the bye have lost so far. So far, they've been defeated. So far, my opinion on that is looking to be proven wrong, but we'll see how this game goes and how Georgia Ole Miss goes. We shall see. So it's 2nd and 9 for the Hoosiers. They're at the Alabama 12. Gotta go 12 yards for a touchdown. They're already in Nico Radicic's field goal range. Nearing the end of the first quarter with 1:07 left. Indiana right now is on like a 14-play, 86-yard drive, which is just nuts. They started all the way at their own 3, and they've driven this far down the field. Mendoza, back to pass. It is a screen, and the screen is blown up. Alabama read that play perfectly. It's going to be 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10. It's Tim Keenan the third, who's probably the biggest defensive lineman on the field for either team. Tried a little screen there. Just Tim Keenan read that play perfectly. I imagine they're going to try to take a shot to the end zone. So we'll see what happens there. This will probably be the final play of the quarter. They run it. Just a conservative play call. They were trying to run it against the blitz because if they got past it, well, they were going to get into the end zone, and I don't know why a timeout was called. But the clock was stopped. And I don't know why the clock was stopped exactly. Yeah, they're going to have to... That's the end of the first quarter. So it'll be 4th and 10. Indiana will be settling for a field goal here. I don't know what happened with the clock, but something happened. Yeah, this is weird. Like, they didn't start the clock after that long run as if someone took a timeout. So I think they're just going to let it slide. Nope. It'll be the end of the first quarter. Score nothing. So offenses so far. So this is really funny. So far in the quarterfinals, we only have 3 offensive points in 3 games. That's pretty crazy, to say the least. Pretty crazy. Indiana was really effective on that drive, too. Mendoza 6 of 6 for 55 yards. If you take out the sacks, Indiana is running for like 3.5 yards per carry. Mendoza's sacks just weigh that down. Each team has 1 TFL because Alabama's 2 sacks also count as TFLs. Yeah. Even Stevens so far. We have another super chat here. Miami, you got to admit, is the most physically superior team in these playoffs. It was OSU's worst matchup. I do agree that it, like, with hindsight, it was probably OSU's worst matchup. At the line of scrimmage, at least. On the outside, I probably wouldn't say that. But, yeah, that was a bad matchup for Ohio State, and Miami was able to take advantage of it, and Ohio State couldn't really negate it. Yeah. Oh, I think they stopped it for an injured player. That makes sense. And thank you again, Weston, for the $5 super chat. Really appreciate you. As an Oregon fan, I'm not sure what team I'd rather play. For the revenge factor, you'd rather play IU. If it's just about winning, you'd rather play Alabama. I think if it were just about winning, you'd rather play Alabama. Like, if you're just trying to maximize your chances of getting to the title, you'd rather play Alabama. Even if Alabama wins this game. Because the way Alabama wins is not sustainable. I know there's the whole, well, Indiana, they're not sustainable either because of BCR. But like, does BCR matter more than being horrific at running the football? Like, that's a question I have. Like, does blue chip ratio triumph every analytic in the book? I don't think so. I think in certain circumstances it could. I think that it can be an amplifying factor if the team that is like non-BCR is facing a superior team. But you can't win a natty with a rushing offense that's not top 100. Like that's probably more factual than the whole BCR thing, I would say. Well, it's going to be 4th and 10. Nico Radicic is going to attempt a field goal. I mean, yeah. All Indiana was trying to do there was run into the blitz because they knew Indiana was going to send the house. I can understand that play call. Radicic, his field goal is up and good, and Indiana takes a 3-0 lead. The first bye team in this CFP to hold a lead at all will be Indiana. So, Indiana up 3-0. Very long drive. They have 11 minutes of TOP already. Let's see what Alabama's response is. And we have another commercial break, which makes sense because that was a very long Indiana drive. They need to get those commercials in there. Ooh, I do not like being wrong. I don't. And I already felt that sting with Ohio State Miami last night. And I don't have to feel that sting here or the Sugar Bowl. I don't want to be wrong again. I do not want to be wrong again. I mean, we don't know. I don't know if we will be. I mean, Indiana just put together the best drive of the game, but it is very early. Very early. What helped IU, though, is they can run. And I don't know if Alabama can. There's been a lot made of the size advantage, and I get that to a certain degree. But they've had that size edge all year, and I just don't see how they'll... Yeah. Got that out. Just trying to get a post about the Orange Bowl out at the very minimum. Make sure everyone to like. Please do that. Subscribe to the channel as well. And hit the notification bell. I'd appreciate all those things very much. Going to get pretty good views today, I would say, especially after the game. We'll do an instant reaction. We're going to like release shorts on last night's reaction from Alabama or from Miami, Ohio State. So Indiana leads 3-0 early in this matchup. Now Alabama will have a chance to respond. And it's kicked out of the back of the end zone, and Alabama's offense will take over at their own 25. So Indiana, remember, just went on a very long drive of almost 9 minutes, eating up the clock. Let's see what Alabama can do here. They have Riley in the backfield, and they run it, and Riley is going to get tackled for a 1-yard loss. So it'll be 2nd and 11 for Alabama. That was not well blocked at all. That was not on Riley. That was on the O-line. There was nowhere for him to go. I was almost hoping for Alabama's sake that would be a play action pass, because like they really struggle at running the ball, and yet they do it enough to where it's like they waste. Part of the reason their offense is ineffective is their rushing offense is so bad. Whenever they run it, it's almost like wasting a play. 2nd and 10 though, from the basically 24.5-yard line. They are going to run it again for a gain of 2, maybe 3, and that's stopped pretty quickly. So now it's going to be 3rd and long. Let's see what Alabama can do on a 3rd and long here. It's number 46 for Indiana, that being Isaiah Jones, who was a Tom Allen recruit, actually, funnily enough. Simpson has room in the pocket. He's going to pick up the 1st down. He did start to slide. I wonder if they're going to give it to him, or if they're going to give it where he gave. Yep, it's going to be 4th and 1. They mark it 4th and 1. If you're Alabama here, I think you punt this. No, they're going to go for it. Are you serious? They're going to go for it? Bold call to go for it. I mean, you can at least try to get Indiana to jump off sides. This is a Wildcat trick play. Yeah, no. Nope. Indiana took a timeout. Second timeout of the half. They were unfamiliar with that look. I wonder if Alabama will go for it, or now that Indiana took the timeout, if they're just going to punt this ball away. I mean, you can't reliably run it for a yard. And you've held Indiana to 3 points on 2 drives. And yes, they did just drive down your throat. But, I mean, your defense is good. It got you back in the game against Oklahoma. I know Indiana is in Oklahoma, but if Indiana takes over here, you're certainly giving them points. And you have no guarantee of getting points if you convert this. I know you're the underdog, for sure, but I don't know if acting like one this early is conducive to success. Yeah. You know what's funny, pissed off Ohio, and it's actually worse than that. 2023 Ohio State at least had Henderson, and they at least had like an actual first-round tackle in Simmons and a first-round guard in Jackson. As bad as Ohio State was that year at times on offense, they were definitely more effective. Why can't I skip this ad? They were definitely more effective offensively than this Alabama team is. Like Alabama probably had the better quarterback. Like Simpson's probably better than McCord. Everything else, I'd go with Ohio State. They had the better receivers. They had the better backs. They had the better O-line. And Stover was the best overall tight end. Yeah, curious to see. Oh, wow. Neither offense is doing super well right now, according to EPA per play. And both defenses are doing well, especially Indiana's. Pretty evenly matched games so far. I mean, I understand if you're Alabama, you may. Simpson's done a really good job of aiding pressure, by the way. There have been like 3 or 4 plays where he could have taken sacks, and his mobility and awareness has saved them. Wow. I still can't believe what happened yesterday in the Cotton Bowl. You know, that win against Texas Tech, like Oregon shutting out Tech, not totally shocking to me. Like, it was shocking how ineffective the offenses were in totality, but they're gonna go for it, guys. They're gonna go for this. No, hold on, they're punting, but they're huddling like they might want to fake it. So if I were Indiana, I would abandon protection. Yup, nothing. And I think Alabama took the delay of game. Or did they take it? No, they took a timeout. So are they going to punt, or what are they going to do? They really want to go for this, which I understand because DeBoer naturally wants to be aggressive. Yeah, they're sending out the offense. They're like, they better get this. If they don't get this, this is like coaching malpractice. It is coaching malpractice whether they get it or not. I don't care if it works. But yeah, I mean, they're just like, I don't know what it is. They're going to run that same trick play. I don't know if he got it. They're ruling him short. Yup, they're ruling him short. I think they stopped him. And that call on the field's going to be hard to overturn. Wow. Yeah, I don't think he got that. Nope. Trick play. They tried to run it, and they just didn't work. Signetti's still mad. So it's 1st and 10 for Indiana from the 35. Mendoza just drop back pass. Mendoza escapes. And he is going to get... There is a flag, I imagine it's going to be holding. Either offensive or... Yup, it's offensive holding. Yup. So that's going to back Indiana up. That's not good for Indiana at all. Like, if Alabama can force Indiana to punt based off this, that's a huge win for them. Pretty huge win. So 1st and 20 now, and it will be from the 45 of Alabama. Is Indiana going to try to run this, or what are they going to do? They're going to run it with Hemby. Hemby is going to get to the outside. Bray Hubbard can't bring him down, and he gets a first down in his own. That was a run of like 24 yards. And Indiana converts there. Really nice blocking, too, up front. You got Khalil Benson, who just nails the D end. They run Hemby up the middle again to get to the 20. It's just going to be a very short gain. Yep, 2nd and 8. In field goal range again. If you're Indiana, you want to get the touchdown because, it's going to be hard to shut out Alabama's offense. Maybe they will. I mean, Alabama's offense is one of the least effective in the playoffs, but I trust DeBoer, I trust Simpson, those receivers. Let's see what Indiana can do. 11 minutes left in the 2nd quarter. Simps. And that was a nice pass break up there. That was by number 7. It was a risky throw by Mendoza. Number 7, Deshaun Jones, bats that ball down. He was looking on a little corner route for Charlie Becker, and Becker just couldn't hold on. Is Alabama going to send everyone again? They are. Mendoza well protected, though, and he finds Charlie Becker in the end zone for an Indiana touchdown. Indiana's going to lead 10-0 after the extra point. That was a Becker. Who was covering Becker? Because Becker, killed them very quickly. So let me see who was on Becker. Number 7, Deshaun Jones, who had the PBU. He got torched there. So it's 10-0 Indiana. Indiana takes the lead by 10. Beautiful pass there by Mendoza. Oh, wow, an Irish fan pulling for the Hoosiers. Well, Freeman's 1-0 versus Signetti, so there probably isn't too much bad blood there. Wow. Just, Alabama, Indiana's quadrupled them up in yards. They have almost quadrupled the first downs. They have 3 more third down conversions. They stopped them on fourth and very short, and they have more than double the TOP. Wow. Indiana's also running for 5 yards per carry. Alabama's running for 3, but a big part of that is Ty Simpson not taking sacks. He has the longest run of the day in an improvised scramble. Wow. Wow. All right, so Indiana's going to kick this off, up 10-0 in the second quarter. So far, I think coaching's been the biggest difference. Like, if Alabama doesn't go for it on that 4th and 1, I don't know if Indiana scores a touchdown on their next drive without the short field. Because Alabama's defense has looked, I would say good so far. So coaching's been the biggest difference here. It's why Indiana is up 10-0 in this Rose Bowl. Alabama is going to try to return this one, and they will only get out to the 14. So Alabama with very poor field position. So 1st and 10 for Alabama at their own 14. Simpson going to get it out to Ryan Williams for a gain of 5. So 2nd and 5 from their own 19. They got it out to number 5 for Alabama. Number 5 being Jeremy Bernard. They pick up the first down there. And it will be 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. It is going to be a quick pass, faked the pitch, but then threw it behind Jeremy Bernard to make it 2nd and 10 for Alabama. Simpson's back there by himself. Motions back in Hill. Hill is not going to get anything. He'll be lucky if he got back to the line of scrimmage. Alvin Kamara there on the stop. It's going to be another long down. Going to be 3rd and 10. So 3rd and long. Just Alabama struggled to run the ball all season long. Indiana looks like they're going to probably bring a pressure. They do. Alabama's O-line is holding up okay. Simpson gets taken down, though, and Alabama will have to punt. He got past the line of scrimmage, but Indiana's defensive line was able to eject from their blocks and get out of there pretty quickly. So Alabama will punt. Fourth and 9. Crimson Tide will punt this football away. And Jonathan Brady is going to try to return this one. He gets out past the 40. So Indiana set up with really good field position here, with 8:02 left in the second quarter. I mean, the biggest issue for Alabama is they're trying to mix in runs, as they always do, and it's setting them behind the chains against this is the best defense Alabama's played all year, guys. It's better than Oklahoma. And Indiana's offense is also better than Oklahoma's by a mile. Like, this is the best they've played all season long. Indiana live betting is now favored by 15.5, which is, like, that's kind of crazy. We'll see what Indiana can do, though. We're a little over a third of the way through the game, and Indiana's looked like the better team so far. So we'll see if that carries over at all. We shall see. Got another super chat in here. Just tuning in now. Game going as expected. Go IU. Thank you for the $2 super chat. ProCon32. I would say yes. I never said really that Indiana would blow Alabama out here. I said they would win and look like the better team and control Alabama. It looks like that could be happening right now. Yeah. I would say the game's going as expected. With one exception. Alabama has more sacks than Indiana, but if you watch the game, Indiana's doing a better job of getting pressure. Simpson's just done a better job of escaping than Mendoza, and when Alabama gets sacks or gets pressures, they're sending like 6 guys, so it's really hard to escape from that. When Indiana's getting pressure, it's mostly with 4. I don't think Indiana's brought anything more than 5 men forward so far. They're trusting their front 4 and occasionally a 5th guy to get home for them. So thank you for that super chat. Really appreciate it. All right, let's see what Indiana does. It's 1st and 10 from their own 43. They're up 10-0. If you can cash in a touchdown here, Alabama might have to start to press. They've come back from 17 before, but I don't know if you can rely on Indiana to give up like that. Not that Oklahoma gave up, but Oklahoma is not a good enough team to be protected when they throw a pick six. And Mendoza's going to take a sack, so IU gets home, or Alabama gets home for their third sack of the day. That was number 42, Yanze Pierre, who is the sack leader. That was a pretty big sack, too. It's going to be like second and very long. Second and 19, exactly. Just no one was open. They were probably trying to go for the kill shot, and Alabama dialed up a perfectly timed blitz. They are going to hand it off to Kalon Black. Black is able to find a hole and basically get back to the original line of scrimmage. So it's going to be third and long, but much more manageable. And if you follow the... Oh, Black is hurt. Oh, boy. That sucks. I'm assuming he just got the wind knocked out of him, but I could be wrong. Because he's moving. Yep, going to be third and 12. When you take out... So if you follow the NFL model for sacks... and you take out, like, you count sacks against the quarterback or against the passing game and not the rushing game, Indiana's running the ball really, really well here. They probably should go to that more, but they do like to pass since they're an RPO team. Wait, why am I glitching out here? I don't like that. Why am I glitching out? Okay, come on. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, boy. Yep, so Lanning and Signetti each have 13 wins so far. Signetti is fighting for his 14th. The big Oregon and Indiana seasons are still alive. Ohio State's is over. Alabama's fighting for their 12th win of the year. What do you guys think about the game so far? Hyperextended elbow. Holy cow, it looked bad. Yeah. Yup. It's gonna be a mix between Roman Hemby and Kalon Black, probably, or Roman Hemby and what's his face from here on out, probably. Oh boy. You know what this game is reminding me of a lot right now? It's reminding me of Oregon. Oregon versus Indiana. That's what this game reminds me of so far. Like through a few series from each team. That's what this game reminds me of. Simpson isn't taking the sacks like Moore, and I get that. Indiana's not being aggressive with pass rush. Simpson has done a really good job being aware and evading pressure. But Indiana's O-line's like doing a pretty good job up front, blocking like the run. At times, Alabama's over to overpower and get a sack, which Oregon was able to do. Like, Alabama's defense right now is reminding me a lot of Oregon's when Indiana played them. They haven't gotten the big play that Oregon did in that first half that really, like, kept this game, like, tied at the half. Or Indiana took the lead, but it was 13-10 at the half. Okay. So Hemby's in. I wonder what Indiana's going to do here. Mendoza is back to throw. He's going to go deep. And the ball popped out, but I think they're going to rule it incomplete. Yeah, they rule it incomplete. Nowakowski had it, but he dropped it on the hit. So that could have been a dagger for Alabama, but now they're going to have to punt, or now, yeah, that's an incomplete pass. 1, 2, hit, ball is out. Incomplete. Did not complete the process of a catch. Kane Womack right now, him and Haynes are the best coordinators on the field. And Alabama will once again have it at about their 15. So it'll once again be a very long drive for the Crimson Tide. Indiana just couldn't get any points off of that favorable field position, sadly for them. Good punt, though, by Mitch McCarthy. Punt of 44 yards. And Indiana's coming very close to winning the time of possession battle. Not quite at a commercial break, though. No, we are not. 1st and 10 for Alabama at their own 15. It's going to be a pass. And it is going to be caught by Huevis, the tight end, for about a gain of 7, I believe. Yep, 7. 7, maybe 8. They're going to rule it 8, actually. So 2nd and 2 for the Crimson Tide. Caught by by Daniel Hill for the first down. Just under 6 minutes left in the second quarter. Remember, Alabama gets the ball at a half. So they can go on a long drive and get points here. They have a really good chance of double dipping. Let's see if Indiana's defense allows them to do that. And Daniel Hill was able to break a tackle there. That was a bit surprising. So Alabama got a positive run, all on the backs of Hill there. It's going to be 2nd and 5, maybe 2nd and 4. Yep, they rule it 2nd and 5. Positive run for the Crimson Tide. Indiana is stacking a very light box. Imagine they're only going to bring... No, they do bring 5. And Ryan Williams catches it at the 44. So Alabama converts and now is getting a nice drive of their own with about 5 minutes left in the half. Alabama holding up fairly well in pass blocking. It's a pass out to Hill. Hill only gets about a gain of, they're going to mark it 3, so it'll be 2nd and 7. This is probably 4-down territory for Alabama, depending on what they do here. And they are using that play clock. Yeah, they're winding that play clock all the way down. They are going to try to run it, and they're not going to get anything. They try to run it with Riley. Maybe they get a yard. Yeah, they get a yard. It's going to be 3rd and 7. Just not really well blocked. Like, the blocking on the right side was okay, but the left side of the line imploded. And that allowed Indiana to get a tackle from the ankles. Jam Miller is in the game. Wonder if Alabama's going to run this to maybe set up a 4th and short. But we'll see. 3:20 left. Indiana does bring pressure. Simpson is going to take off and run. Shocked they have not kept a QB spy on him. Oh, the ball popped out, and I think Indiana has it. Yes, they do. Indiana has the football. Forced a fumble, and they recovered it. Let's see if Simpson was down. I don't think he was. I think they would have ruled that down by contact if he was. But yeah, that was oh yeah, that was out. That was out. So huge. That was a huge stop by Indiana's defense there, because he would have picked that up and would have extended a long drive. Just wow. Big play. Indiana's defense possibly pitching a shutout in the first half. They're going to run it with Roman Hemby. Hemby plows forward past the 45, gets to the 47 of Indiana. That's going to be a gain of 4. They're going to rule it a gain of 4. So it'll be 2nd and 6. Alabama's getting in their signals very late. Mendoza only gets a gain of 2 there. He kept it, and Alabama read that pretty well. Tim Keenan pats Mendoza, good sportsmanship between the two. It's going to be 3rd and 3 is what they'll rule it, so it's actually a gain of 3 there. If you're Indiana, I mean, you're going to wait until the 2-minute warning, as you should. Do you run? I would probably try to run it here and establish yourself. That's what I would do. You can pound it up the middle, and you can run on these guys. So 2-minute warning here. Indiana has their highest win probability percentage of the entire game with an 89.9% chance to win at the 2-minute warning. Now a 90.1% chance at the 2-minute warning. And they have a chance to, score here. They still lead in total yards, first downs, third down conversions, time of possession. Technically, in terms of, like, when you count sacks, Alabama's actually running it better. But they're only running for 3 yards per carry. If you take out the sacks for Mendoza, where he had, minus 22? So that's 15. They're running for 4.9 yards per carry when you take out sacks. So the margin between the two teams' rushing offenses isn't as big as I thought it would be, but it still favors Indiana by quite a bit here. Like, if Indiana decides to go halfback dive here, which they should, they'll probably pick it up based on how this game is going. If Indiana takes this into halftime with a 17-0 lead, it could be game. Because I think what did Georgia... Hold on. What did Alabama lead Georgia at the half? Yeah, 14. It was 14-0 at the half. So if Georgia can... If Indiana can go up 17-0 entering the half, that could be game. Wow. Wonder what, yep. Okay, we're back. 3rd and 3. I wonder what Indiana's going to come out with after the 2-minute warning. There are clouds overhead. Wonder if we could have a weather delay. But make sure everyone who's on this stream to like the show, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Please do these things, everyone. Very much would appreciate it. Oh my gosh, Mendoza, you are a genius. Alabama read that play perfectly. Like, Kane Womack has been in his bag today. With the pressures, the sacks, the coverage. Mendoza was just able to do what Simpson's been doing on a lot of these pressures and pick up that third down in his own with a scramble. And now it's 1st and 10 at the Alabama 44. Indiana confirmed is now going to win TOP with that conversion. They're going to run it with Roman Hemby. Hemby is going to try to get to the outside. He does. And he gets about an 8, maybe 7-yard gain out of bounds too. Gain of 7. Remember, Indiana's a timeout here, and they can play fast. So they can run it here, I think. You don't have to pass it. And I mean, you prefer a touchdown, but a field goal helps too, because it's now basically a 2-touchdown lead instead of a touchdown and a field goal lead. And Hemby is going to get through the hole and pick up a 1st down. Clock should stop. They're going to have to reset that. Oh yeah, they're going to reset it. They're stopping to reset the clock. No one's taking a timeout. They're gonna stop to reset it. It's gonna be 1st and 10 from the Alabama 34. And Signetti's chewing everyone out. Wow. Hoosier Viking says hi, everyone. He's been on the stream before. He says, greetings from Pasadena. He's at the game watching it right now. They put 1:20 back on the clock, and they say it's 3rd and 1. That's interesting. 3rd and 1? Yeah, because that's a 1st down. Yeah, he got it. I don't know what, like, why are they spotting it like that? Yeah, he got to the 34 or 33 even. Wow. Call overturned. It's gonna be first down for IU. Yep, 1st and 10. Ball will be at the 33 of Alabama. .120 left in the half. Then we enter halftime. At halftime, I'm probably... Oh, we got another super chat here. Sam, did you see the game going this way? From Indiana's defense doing this well, yes. From leading by like 10, probably, yes, I would say. Oh, that was perfectly blocked. And Alabama's going to get a 6-7 yard... Yeah, they're going to rule it a 7-yard gain. There. And he was out of bounds, too. So now they're inside the 30. Yeah, I did see the game going this way from, like, a who's the better team angle. I don't want to say too much because I'm so nervous about being wrong. But if Indiana at one point leads 17-0, then no, I did not see that. Wow, is Kalon Black back in the game? He is. He is back in the game. And Indiana has it 1st and 10 at the 15 of Alabama. It's just a little like Texas route there. And now Indiana has it at the 10 of Alabama on a little out route. Does Indiana try to run it here? This is a light box from Alabama. That's what they're going to do. And Black has the first down. So now it's going to be 1st and 10. Yep, 1st and goal. Got 30 seconds left in the half. I wonder if they try to like run it up the middle a few times. And Black down to the 1. And Indiana's going to call their final timeout. This has been a dominant drive, to say the least, for Indiana. They almost have 7 minutes of possession. They're about to double up Alabama in yards. They've more than doubled them up on first downs. They are given a 92.8% chance to win this game per FPI. So 23 seconds are left on the play clock, not 18, or on just the clock in general. Hey, guys. Guys. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe. Let's get to 100 likes before halftime. Please and thank you. All right, 21 seconds to go. It's 2nd and goal. Alabama's a bunch of big bodies out there. Alabama's in goal line defense. And that was a brilliant call. Play action, touchdown, Indiana. Going to be 17-0 entering the half, barring something insane happening. Mendoza now has 2 passing touchdowns. Indiana's given a 95.8% chance to win. Touchdown catch by Omar Cooper Jr. And you know what's funny? What's funny there? Yup, 17-0 is probably what the score will be at the half. Game ain't over yet, though. Game ain't over yet. Wow. So what was that other super chat? Oh yeah, it was I already answered Chuck with that. Still up on the screen. Wow. I mean, 17-0 is just crazy. And Alabama just kind of looks lifeless. I mean, they get the ball to start half, so it's not over. Far from over. But when you're down 17-0 and half of the game is just gone by, you need a pretty miraculous change for something different to happen. And it looks like, yup, Simpson is just going to take a knee, and that'll do it. 17-0 at the half. Indiana, Alabama at the half against Oklahoma was tied 17-17. And against Georgia, Alabama was down 14-0 at the half. So Alabama has not led in their last 3 halftimes. This is Indiana's biggest lead over a top 10 ranked team ever this year. Good coaching. Wow. Yeah, I never thought it would be 17-0. I did not think it would be that. Did think that it would be I thought Indiana would control the game, but 17-0 is pretty crazy. EPA per play stuff is very similar, guys. And both teams have a high success rate, but Indiana's won the turnover battle. They've won the success rate battle. They're averaging, almost 50% more yards per play. They're having better time running the ball. They are they're having less explosive plays, but way more success on third down, in the red zone. They've stuffed Alabama's rushing attack a lot, and both defenses are generating havoc plays. This is pretty daunting, to say the least, for Alabama. That first drive out of half is very important. Okay, we have about 20 minutes until this game turns back on, so I am going to go to the bathroom and get some water. I'll be right back. All right. How you guys feeling? How are you guys feeling? Let me know. All right. Wow. Well, this game's over. It's halfway over already. Oh, Moody Meatball. Where did you hike? Where did you hike? Was it like were you hiking Rainier? Because I know you're a Washington fan, so I could assume that you're like in Washington. I mean, for Indiana fans, this has to feel like peak ecstasy. If they win, I mean, they'll have won 14 games, which will be a season high. I mean, 13 games already is. They'll have won a playoff game. They'll have won the Big Ten. They'll be favored. They will be favored over Oregon in the Peach Bowl if they win this, especially if they keep dominating like this. They'll be favored. Um, like that's how this will go, and that should be a really good game. I think whoever wins that game's winning it by 10, 7 points or less, is what I think. Oregon is as healthy as they were in that game. They have to be more experienced. I think Moore is a better quarterback than he was then. But Indiana, outside of Daly, will also be just as healthy. That could be a big thing, though. And from what we saw from Oregon today, there isn't really an indication that their offense is going to move a defense like IU's. But Indiana offensively may not also move an Oregon defense that had 4 sacks, 7 TFLs, that shut out the Red Raiders. That was pretty impressive. Well, Alabama gets the ball with a 3.9% chance to win. Very curious to see if Alabama makes a comeback or what happens. All right, just texting my girlfriend. We're only 27 likes away from 100, guys. Please like the stream. A little 10 Wolves. Alabama, I mean, really, unless you have a 4-score deficit, a comeback is possible. But like, while Alabama can move the ball, getting shut out in a half. Like, remember Oklahoma? Before they tied it at 17, they got a drive before the half that reignited things. They did. In that win. So, like, let me see what the play sequence was in that game. First quarter punt. Alabama had 3 3-and-outs in a row. So that's kind of flukish. Like, Oklahoma's 17-0 lead was a little bit flukish. They got a short field. They got 2 touchdowns. And Alabama had 3 3-and-outs. In this game, Alabama has had 2 drives that were not 3-and-outs. 3 of them, actually. The one 3-and-out was turnover on downs. And IU has had 2 punts, but otherwise long scores. Alabama lost the turnover. Like, an Alabama comeback is possible, but it's far less likely than it was against Oklahoma, looking at how both teams had those 17-point leads. Curious to see what happens. So the live betting line, guys, right here, right now, is Indiana minus 18.5. That's the betting line right now. Kind of crazy. Whew. My nerves are still high, man. Yeah, thanks for giving me thumbs. Third quarter's about to start, so this game's more than halfway over now. Kirby Smart on his way. I think that's D-line coach Trey Scott. That game's going to kick off in 2 hours and 15 minutes. Wow. Pretty crazy. Isn't it? Isn't it pretty crazy? I think so. Wait, someone's complaining about Alabama. We had some interesting guys enter the portal today. There's actually a lot. Oh my gosh, Lance Hurd Tennessee needed to get rid of him. He's been a bad tackle this year. Jevin Williams entering the portal for Penn State's a pretty big loss. Ethan Grunkmeyer entered the portal. Luke Wren. Oh my gosh, yeah, a lot of Penn State players are entering the portal. A lot of guys are entering the portal today. I imagine you'll see some commitments tomorrow, if not over the weekend. Wow. How many 4-stars are in the portal? I think there's like... Yeah, there's 72 blue chippers in the transfer portal this year. I can't wait for this half to get on. If I had to make a prediction as to who's in the Natty right now, it would be what I predicted before the bracket played out. It would be Indiana versus Georgia for the Natty, is kind of what I'm thinking. Um, that's sort of what I'm thinking. Um, if I'm wrong there, Oregon will bust the bracket. I think Oregon is the third best team in America left. So if I had to rank the teams right now, it would be Indiana, Georgia, Oregon, Miami, Alabama, Ole Miss is how I would rank the teams remaining. If I had to fit Ohio State in there, per se, I would fit Ohio State probably right behind Oregon. I still think they're better than Miami. Because like the pick six is what turned that game over. And in that second half, Ohio State nearly came back and won. But I do think Miami matches up well with Ohio State. And if what do you call it? Gosh. What was I even saying? I just forgot what I was saying. Oh, yeah. If Ohio State and Miami were to rematch, Ohio State in no universe is blowing Miami out. Just no universe. They're not 9.5 points better. They're probably not even a touchdown better. They're better, but not a touchdown better. All right. Well, third quarter is about to begin, and Alabama's going to receive the football. So really, halftime's like a little bit longer than a quarter. So let me see. Based on the time allocated to the game, game is nearly 2/3 over. Like the total time of a game. The actual game on the field is only 50% over. So game started at 4. This will probably end at 7:30, maybe 7:15. Can't wait to see what this is all about. Alabama's opening drive here is humongous. They turn it over, could be game over. If they score a touchdown, they're back in it. Still need a lot to go right, but they're back in it. If they punt, it just kind of delays things, and you can only delay things for just so long. This is a cool flyover. Really, really cool flyover. Indiana's going to kick this ball off. Third quarter begins, 17-0. Indiana leads, and Alabama will let this one bounce in the back of the end zone. All right. Daniel Hill is in the game for Alabama. Started the third quarter. And Hill is tackled behind, not Hill, but Williams. Ryan Williams is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 2, so it'll be 2nd and 12. For the Crimson Tide. Not a good start. Indiana racks up a TFL. They bring in Jam Miller, I believe. And it's dirted by Ty Simpson. It's going to be 3rd and 12. Simpson was under duress there. Oh, no, he wasn't dirted. It was batted down by Mario Landino, number 97. Nice pressure look. Huevis has it, but he is not. Yeah, he's not going to get there. So it's going to be 4th down. It's a 3-and-out for Alabama. They're going to have to punt this football away. Indiana will have the football back. Only gained 2 yards on 3 plays there. Just nuts, honestly. Now Alabama's defense has to hope for an Indiana 3-and-out, or maybe Indiana muffing the punt. And they do punt it away. Jonathan Brady is taken down right at the 15. So Indiana will have it 1st and 10 from their own 15. Did not fair catch that. Got 13:26 left in the 3rd quarter. If you're Indiana, you want to go on a very long drive and make it 20-0 or 24-0. And you want to burn clock and make Alabama start to press and take risks. And it is going to be a run for Hemby. Hemby is able to get to the outside. Hemby picks up a gain of 4, maybe 5. Going to be 2nd down and 5 for the Hoosiers. There's actually, Alabama did a good job there, like getting penetration, but Hemby was faster than Alabama's defenders. They are going to hand it off again to Hemby. Hemby gets a gain of 4, maybe 3. It's going to be second. It's going to be 3rd down and 2. They listed as 3rd down and 3. Funny, Aiden Fisher has his helmet on. They listed as 3rd down and 3, but it's probably more like 3rd down and like 2 in actuality. Let's see what Indiana does here. They are going to run a QB draw. Mendoza falls forward. Not a QB draw, it's a designed QB like counter. He gets forward, picks up a 1st down for IU. And if you're Indiana, you're thinking about 2 things. You're thinking about scoring. You're thinking about the shutout. You're thinking of game control. You're thinking of keeping that Alabama offense off the field. Good job by Mendoza there to wrap that ball tightly with his right arm, and even though they tried to strip it away, they didn't. Indiana working that clock. Kalon Black with a hole. Black gets out to the 46 on a run. And that will be like 2nd and 5. Mendoza looking for anything. He does get a 1st down out to the Alabama 43, running against a man coverage defense. Extends the drive again. Indiana now, even with the sacks, is running the ball for almost 4 yards per carry. They have over 100 rushing yards. My prediction is that they would get 200. I think. I predicted I predicted they would get 200. Based on how this game is going, it looks like that could cash in. We'll see, though. Omar Cooper Jr., dragging defenders, gets down to the 41 of Alabama. That is going to be a 2nd and 4, just a little behind the line of scrimmage pass. Nice blocking by Elijah Surratt on that play. Only got 10 minutes left in the third. Mendoza checks the protection. Shifts the play. Looks like Alabama is going to blitz here. And Kalon Black is going to pick up another first down. And number 0 for Alabama is very pissed, that being Deontay Lawson. But first down for Indiana. They're running that football rather well. Really, really running it well. They've just crossed 4 yards per carry now. If you take out the sacks, they're like over 150 yards. Running that football very well. Have an elite O-line play today. It honestly looks like they're just running standard inside zone. Got that ball out to the 31. So that's going to be a gain of like 2, maybe a gain of 1. It'll be 2nd and 8, 2nd and 9. So finally, Alabama prevents a successful run. Man, Indiana's just melting this clock away. It is just a step back pass. Mendoza is going to try to run this football, and I think he just picked up the first down. Nope, it's going to be 3rd down, but 3rd and short. It's going to be 3rd and probably 1, I would say. Yeah, 3rd and 1. Going to take this under 8 minutes. Man, it's just... Alabama sends everyone. Indiana's found a way to protect and get open. They send no one to try to cover, and Mendoza can just take off and run. They're going deep, and Elijah Surratt catches it for an Indiana touchdown. Oh, boy. Wow. I'm just texting someone I know who I love to talk football with. And I was telling him Indiana is out athleting and out physicaling Alabama. Like, they're obviously the better team here. That is probably the death punch, but I don't want to say anything. You know, it's about halfway through the game. That's insane. Like, Surratt beating the corner off the football and being open in the end zone is insane. Wow, just 24-0. 24-0. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so Indiana has ran they've ran it 29 times for 157 yards. So 157 divided by 29. They're averaging 5.4 yards per carry. They're averaging 8.8 yards per attempt, probably around 8. This is insane. This is like I didn't think Indiana would win this game. Like, they could go on to win this 31 or 38-0. Alabama could also go on a run, possibly. But you gotta wonder, like, after how many body blows does Alabama, like, lay down and die type thing. You're down 3 scores, but only if you convert 3 2-point conversions with 3 touchdowns. And get 3 and outs from Indiana. Let me look at game on paper numbers for Indiana. The Hoosiers are currently averaging 0.21 EPA per play with a 57% success rate. Alabama's averaging a negative 0.28 EPA per play with 39% success rate. Indiana is in the green in every category except for yards per play and explosive play rate. They're in the green in third down success rate, red zone success rate, defensive run stuff rate, havoc rate, EPA per rush, drop back, EPA per drop back, and other things I mentioned. I mean, like, it just, this could get out of control here with that. Wow. And Indiana has 22 minutes and 34 seconds of clock chewed. That drive they had took almost 6 minutes. Wow. Very close to having a third of this game gone by. Clear skies at the Rose Bowl right now. Welcome in concurrent viewers. We almost have 400 of you. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Do those things. I will appreciate that a lot. Alabama lets this kick bounce in the back of the end zone, where it is 1st and 10 for the Crimson Tide. And it looks like, are they going to try to play? Are they going to play Austin Mack? That would be funny if, like, they benched Simpson for Mack, because they have Mack warming up. I mean, honestly, if Simpson's coming back next year or he's going pro, you don't want him to get hurt now that the game is nearly out of reach. So I would not be shocked if they try to get, like, something else worked in. Wow. My goodness. This is just, it's domination in every aspect. Which, look, we predicted that Indiana would basically win every aspect of the game and win by double digits. We thought they would control this team, but potentially blow them out? I see you, Indiana. Because if they keep this performance up, Indiana's going to separate in power ratings. And they will probably be the favorite to win it all. I mean, they already are. They're pulling away, but that's probably because people are betting them by a lot. Yeah, just kind of crazy stuff. I wonder what Alabama's next drive is going to tell us. I mean, it'll tell us whether they quit or not. It'll tell us what the staff thinks can happen. But this is now worse than what Georgia Alabama was in the SEC title game. It's a 24-0 lead instead of a 21-0 lead midway through the third quarter. It's worse. It's going to be harder to come back from this one. Georgia also had like 1 billion yards of penalties in that game, too. Curious to see what happens, but they're showing the Indiana fans. They're showing some Alabama cheerleaders. Yeah, apparently Simpson is, like, hurt, I guess. So they might be bringing out Austin Mack. I don't know. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I hope he's okay. I'm praying for him. Oh, yep. Mack is going out there. They're sending in the backup. Looks like Simpson's either hurt or doesn't want to get hurt more. So they're bringing in Austin Mack. Second string QB. Let's see what he can do. And it's just a pass out of the backfield for no gain. Maybe a gain of 1 at the very best. Yeah, they're going to rule it a gain of 1 yard. Building for the future, and also seeing what your young player can give you, your young quarterback. Mack is someone who has been with Kalen DeBoer at every stop. And Mack is going to try to maybe scramble out, and he is going to pick up the first down with his legs. So Alabama advances the chains with the young quarterback on a long scramble. .638 left in the third quarter, 1st and 10 at their own 39. They're going to try to run it, and they get maybe a gain of 1. That was Daniel Hill, number 4, their starting running back, or one of their top 2 backs at the very least. Give him 2. They give him 2. It's going to be 2nd and 8 from their own 41. Mack under duress, trying to find his man. He does down the sidelines, got behind the coverage. That was number 5 for Alabama, Jeremy Bernard, and they're going to have it 1st and 10 at the Indiana 25. Nice throw by Mack, nice route, nice concept design. Alabama's still taking time off the clock. Let's see if they can score a touchdown here. And Alabama's going to have to burn a timeout. That's pretty big for Indiana. Got 5:13 left in the ball game, or not the ball game. 20:13 left in the ball game, 5:13 left in the third quarter. And they had to take a timeout there. Just the game has if Austin Mack came to MSU, that would be a pretty big deal. That would be good. I mean, Mack already is like half the passing yards that Ty Simpson did in this game, which is pretty crazy. So let's see what happens. Again, 24-0 Indiana with 20:13 left in the game, 5:13 left in the third quarter, and Alabama having to spend a timeout there. And yeah, Mack is a better deep ball thrower. He's more of like he again was a DeBoer recruit, so he probably is recruited to fit that system. Simpson better fits it than Milroe, but is still not an elite fit there. All right, 1st and 10 for the Crimson Tide with 5:13 left to go in the third quarter. They are, for the first time, inside the Indiana 30. So let's see what they're made of. And Huevis has it. That was a good throw by Austin Mack. It looks like Alabama's going to score here. Mack is having a pretty good game so far, I'd have to say. Yeah, they're at the Indiana 9 now. Mack being chased around, and he's going to be brought down at the 5. Man, he is big. Has a lot of momentum going forward. Going to be 2nd and goal from the 5. Got 5 yards to go, presumably on 3 plays. And one thing Alabama's QBs have done a good job at is scrambling against this Indiana defense. And also, they've done an okay job holding up in pass blocking. Oh, yeah. Daniel Hill caught that, but for a loss. So it's going to be 3rd and goal from the probably 8, 9, or 10. That was a behind-the-body throw by Mack there. It wasn't a really good throw at all. Indiana's defense really has 2 plays, because if you're Alabama, you're going for this thing. Like, the only way you're going to win is if you're going for, is if, you know, you can go for this thing. And Mack threw it behind his man. He was looking for number 17, Latsier Brooks, but came up short, threw it behind him. It's going to be 4th and goal. And I guess Alabama's going to kick the field goal, which is, I would say, kind of the confession of defeat here. Because you'd prefer to go for it. Like, this is just trying to not get shut out and embarrassed at this point. You know, you're still going to be down by more than you were at the half, and there isn't long in the game left to go. And it's good. So Alabama gets on the board, 2:44 left. It is late third quarter. The lead, Indiana 24, Alabama 3. 17 minutes and 44 seconds left in this game. Alabama 2 timeouts and the 2-minute warning. They have any hope at coming back, they got to get a 3 and out pretty quickly. That was a 5-minute drive, though. Like, took the defense off the field. For sure. End of the third quarter, I'm going to have to go to the bathroom. All right, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. Also, let's get up to 200 likes before the stream is over. Thanks. Thoughts so far are really just that, I mean, Alabama is just not in a position right now to do much. This is just, I can't believe this is happening. Like, Alabama finally got a drive going, and it ends in a field goal, and you only have, you have less than 18 minutes left in the game. Now, if you do get a quick 3 and out, you can make this an interesting 2-score game, but how likely is it that Indiana is going to choke a 24-0 lead with less than 20 minutes left, and Alabama has a backup QB in the game? Like, how likely is that? I don't know. But, yeah. Good drive by Alabama, but you needed 8 there. You really did. You didn't need 3, you needed 8. All right, kickoff in the back of the end zone for a touchback. This is Indiana's game if they want it. If they want it. If they want to, control this thing, run the ball, kill the clock, put together another long drive, it's theirs. They have it. But do they have all that within them left? And what does Alabama have to spit out? They are going to run it with Kalon Black, and Black runs right into a wall. So Alabama comes out, gets a nice, good play on first down. No gain. They are going to run Black again. Black only gets a gain of 2, so an opportunity for a 3 and out here by Alabama's defense, which is exactly what they need. Let's see if they can get it, though. Chandler Whitmer, the QB coach. Mendoza back to throw. And it is caught. And that is Riley Nowakowski for the first down. Oh man, so many yards after contact there. Cignetti isn't even happy. That is crazy. Out apparently at the 42. Yeah, I mean you just, in order for Alabama to have any shot, things have to go perfectly. And that's just an example where, look, Nowakowski breaks a tackle and breaks another and just gets so many yards after contact where Indiana's now going to enter the fourth quarter with the football, and they're on the Alabama side of the field. They're on the Alabama 42. They do get push, and oh my gosh, Black was nearly gone there. He got past the 30. Almost at a long touchdown. Wow. Yeah, just perfect blocking. Tim Keenan couldn't do anything. That was Bray Hubbard, who's a pretty good safety, who had that tackle. And Indiana is going to enter the fourth quarter with a 24-3 lead, driving inside of the Alabama 30. Nice response drive by Indiana so far. They have over 300 yards, over 25 minutes of possession, and they have 150. They have, if you take out sacks, they almost have 200 yards rushing. Impressive by Indiana. And Mendoza's averaging over 10 yards per pass attempt. So, yeah, that guy was the Heisman. Yep. That conversion by Nowakowski probably ended the game. It's probably over. If we get to a point where it's like late fourth quarter and Indiana's ahead by 4 scores, I'll turn off the stream early so we can get that instant reaction out there pretty quickly. It's a balance. So think about it this way too. Indiana's ran it 35 times and only passed it 15. They're mostly running the ball here. They're playing a game control style of attack that they don't always play. Only have 15 minutes to glory, Indiana, and you're still going to be fighting for a chance to win it all. But a win here cements you as one of the best teams in America. It cements you as, with Cignetti, as one of the best, like one of the best coaching jobs of all time. That was already the case, but this will further cement it. And this is not going to. Here's the other thing too. Like Indiana has had some close wins. So Penn State, Iowa, Ohio State, 3-0 in close games. Ideally in the playoffs, you did not want to win a bunch of close games because at some point with your talent composite and the law of close games, at some point you'll lose one if you kept stacking them. To get a big win here where, you didn't suffer any injuries. Like Black got hurt, but Black could come back in and play. You haven't suffered any injuries. You've played a pretty clean game. You're not having to press. That's very good. That's like, this is one of the best games possible that Indiana could have had. We're now entering the fourth quarter. Indiana in total control. If they score here, I don't know what to say other than the game's probably over. Because a 4-score lead this late, with how Indiana's been able to move the football, that would be a death sentence, to say the least. And they're running it at will on Alabama, pretty much. They're going to try to run it here with Kalon Black. Black's just going to get to the 25. So I think back to the line of scrimmage, maybe 2-yard gain. It's going to be 2nd and 8. Mendoza looking to the sidelines. Alabama's defense not set. Now they are. They're in the pistol. I expect them to run with Black. They are going to. Black found a crease. Black is gone. Touchdown, Indiana. They take the lead 30-3, and they're going to extend their lead to the largest of the day. Yeah, this is crazy. Oh my gosh. If you take out the sacks now, they're up to 200 rushing yards. Wow. Oh, yeah. DeBoer's going to be under pressure next year with that loss. Okay, so yeah, my goodness. I'm probably not as emphatic as I should be, but that's crazy. Indiana kicks this football off, and look, if Alabama punts this or Indiana scores again, we're going to end the stream. Because, like, I'm going to engage with you guys, but at this point, I'm just going to casually call the game. And maybe I'll get, like, notes and start taking notes of what I have. Okay, Evan, 4-1-4-1. When do we see Alberto? Is he out there right now? No, I'm an idiot. That's Alabama's offense. I bet you it'll be the next series. if Alabama like turns this football over or doesn't score here. Gosh, this is just so bad. Okay, Mac, he's trying to escape and has to throw it away. It'll be 2nd and 10 for the Tide. Wow. Mac, play action pass, and he's going to get sacked by Michael Kamara. First sack of the day for him. And Alabama's already behind the sticks. Gosh. Oh boy. Wow. Yup, it's going to be 3rd and like 20. Just this is a butt kicking. That's what this is. Good old-fashioned butt kicking by Indiana. They are putting on a clinic here. Okay, oh boy, that was a bad miscommunication. 4th and 20. Okay. I'm going to, like, I'm not going to end the stream, but I'm going to quickly go and get, like, my notepad because there's no way Alabama's going for this. Because if they do, IU will score, and then, you know, if you're down 35... Okay, commercial break. I'm going to quickly go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. And here we go. Okay. So Indiana has this football, 1st and 10 from the 37. They're going to hand it off to Hemby. Hemby will be tackled in the backfield. I think they have Fernando still in there. I think. And they're going to hand it off again to Hemby. Hemby is able to get through a hole, pick up like 4 or 5. They're just trying to chew the clock and get the heck on out of there, I think, is what they're trying to do. They probably have Mendoza in there to pass on 3rd down to try to make the game end sooner. Yeah, he got 4 yards. It's going to be 3rd and 8. Maybe they'll run it again. I don't know. All-out blitz. And it is going to be caught by Omar Cooper Jr., and Cooper will have it deep in Alabama territory. Oh, boy. It's like a gain of... Yeah, it was a gain of like 5. Yep, 2nd and 5. Only about 10 minutes left. They're going to hand it off to Hemby. Hemby found a crease, and Hemby's going to get in the end zone for a touchdown. Indiana has now scored 37 points on the Crimson Tide in a blowout. Wow. Holy moly. This is ugly. I know, guys, I have been very active, and that's probably my bad, but I'm now trying to think about like what I want to say in the instant reaction. Like exactly. What else is there to say? I know that Mountain Glide said, "Does this guy talk?" And again, it's like, what is there to say? Yeah, there's not much else to say, guys. I'll be on for like one more drive, and I think after I think I'm gonna get off here. Yeah, that's fair. I could just I'll just say told you so. You're right. I should say that. Told you so. I told you guys that Indiana would win and that they matched up very well with Alabama. Told you guys that. This is a big win for the channel. Like, we didn't call a 35-point win, but we said they'd win by 2 or 3 scores and cover that spread. The metrics were right. Like, metrics and matchups triumph BCR. BCR is a tool to affect certain things. I mean, Indiana's at plus 150 to win the title. Oregon's at plus 400. That's a pretty big, like, difference in margin. They just took Alabama off the board. Like, it's nuts. This is so nuts. I'm still in disbelief because this wasn't as bad as Ohio State Oregon last year, but it was close. Oh, almost picked it off. That would have been huge for 21 for Indiana, almost at a pick. That being Elijah Hardy. Batted in the air. Yeah, man. I mean, this was not quite Ohio State Oregon last year, because I think last year's Oregon was better than this Alabama team. And Ohio State last year like had more juice than this IU team did. But this is close. This is close, and you know what? This Indiana team's better coached than last year's Ohio State team. Like, that's for sure. Based on the crap I'm seeing here. Nice ball by Mac. I mean, again, you're reaching a point where, you're just getting practice reps at this point. I mean, Indiana has almost 400 yards. They might win the TOP battle. They're 8 of 11 on third down with 20 first downs. The pass protection's basically been perfect since the first series, with a rare exception here or there. It's crazy. I mean, the bye helped IU guys because Indiana does not have a history of doing this to top 10 teams, and they did. Mac, and Mac is going to take a sack. So Indiana gets pressure. They get home. I'm going to get my notepad and start jostling things down. They are running a trick play, and the trick play is... It's going to work, but, like... This is just style points at this point. You know Signetti is going to rip his team for allowing that, too. You just know that. Yeah, it was a nice trick play. Think Indiana just took a timeout, or was that Alabama? Yep, Indiana took a timeout. Wow. Holy cow. Told you so. Well, second down, clock is still going to run. What else is there to say, man? Alabama really wants that touchdown. And I imagine Signetti might want it too, so that he can chew Indiana's players out for allowing it. Oh. Mac got hit as he threw, tried to do a screen pass, and it was dropped. All right, Mac. He has Daniel Hill in the backfield. Faces a pressure. Tries to get it out to Hill, and Hill is forced out of bounds for a loss. Signetti just spit out a Zin. That's funny. And Mac is taken down on the 4th and 4, and Alabama turns it over on downs. All right, guys, that's it. So we're going to end off this live show. Let me see if you have anything else to say. Thank you, guys, for the support, for the super chats, for the views. We will be live reacting to the semifinals, by the way. we will. So thank you guys so much. Mendoza is coming off the field for Indiana, completely healthy, as these are going to all be Indiana's backups. This game's over. I'll see you guys soon. Have a great day.